Good morning. Today we will study how equilibrium of an economy is determined. There are two alternative methods to determine the equilibrium in an economy. The first one is when aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. That is called aggregate demand and aggregate supply approach. Whenever aggregate demand of an economy is equal to aggregate supply, the economy will be in equilibrium. It is not necessary that economy will be in equilibrium at full employment. An economy will be in equilibrium even at less than full employment whenever aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. So if aggregate demand is less than full employment aggregate demand, then also the economy can be in equilibrium. Now, the other method is when planned saving is equals to planned investment. Planned saving and planned investment is also known as ex-ante saving and ex-ante investment. It is not actual saving and actual investment. Actual saving is always equal to actual investment. But an economy is in equilibrium when planned saving is equals to planned investment, or in other word, we can say when ex-ante saving is equal to ex-ante investment. So both the method we can find out or we can determine equilibrium level of an economy. Let us today do this method, which is known as saving investment method, or which is also known as planned saving and planned investment method. According to this method, whenever planned saving is equals to planned investment, the economy will be in equilibrium. This can be explained with the help of diagram. In this diagram, if you note down, you will find that we have saving and investment curve. Let us see this diagram. We will see this diagram. In this diagram, you will note x-axis represents income or output or aggregate supply, and y-axis is representing, y-axis represents savings and investment. Now, this green line II is investment curve. Investment curve is parallel to x-axis because in short period investment remains constant according to Keynes. According to Keynes, investment cannot be changed with the time period. It is very short. So this investment curve remains parallel to x-axis. Saving curve, which is a red line here, you can note it down that it is starting from negative side and it is upward sloping. The reason is that saving curve is negative. Reason behind it is that at zero level of income or very low level of income, there is some amount of this saving because consumption is always there even when income is zero. So whenever consumption expenditure is more than income, there is some amount of this saving. This area represents this saving. And saving curve is upward sloping because as income increases, saving also increases. This is the reason that saving curve is upward sloping. You will note here that saving and investment curve, they intersect at point E. E is equilibrium point. E is equilibrium point means at this point, planned saving is equals to planned investment. So OM is equilibrium level of income, employment, or output. This is an ideal situation. This is an ideal situation which an economy wants to maintain. But this is rarely seen, this situation is rarely seen in the economy because reason behind it is that the investors and savers are different people. They are not the same people. Now, what happens if investment is more than saving? If you see this side to the left of point E, investment is more and saving is less. How the adjustment takes place when investment is more than saving? We say investment is more than saving means Aggregate demand is more than aggregate supply. Whenever we say investment is more than saving, it means that aggregate demand, because aggregate demand is C plus I. So I, investment, we have derived from aggregate demand, and aggregate supply is C plus S. So saving we have derived from aggregate supply. To the left of point E, investment is more and saving is less, which means aggregate demand is more and aggregate supply is less. In an economy, when aggregate demand is more and aggregate supply is less, means whatever goods are produced, all the goods are sold. The producers are getting high profit because demand is very high. This will induce the producers to produce more. So they will employ more people. And when they will employ more people, income will increase, employment will increase, output will increase. Whenever aggregate demand is more, the producers will get more profit. They'll induce to produce more. So they will employ more people, more will be employment, more will be income, output. And this process will of employing the people and increasing income output will continue till it reaches to a point where savings and investment both are equal, or aggregate demand is equal to aggregate supply. The other condition we can see here, this you can see in our explanation also, you can see when planned saving, that is called ex-ante saving, is less than ex-ante investment. It means that aggregate supply is less and aggregate demand is more. This will result in unplanned reduction in inventory, means all the goods will be sold. As a result, the producer will increase production to meet the increased demand. Thus, production, employment, and income all will increase, and this process of increase in production, employment, and income will continue till planned saving is equals to planned investment. Now we will see the other condition. What happens when planned saving is more than planned investment? To the right of point E, if you see here, point E is here. Savings are more, planned saving is more, and planned investment is less, which indicates that aggregate supply is more and aggregate demand is less. In this condition, some goods will remain unsold and producers will incur loss. So they will cut down production. When they will cut down production, they will remove the people from job. So income, employment, and output, everything will start decreasing till it reaches to a point where planned saving is equals to planned investment. If you want to see the explanation of that, you can see when planned saving is more than planned investment, what will happen? In it means that aggregate supply is more than aggregate demand. So there'll be unplanned pile up of stock or unintended increase in inventory. Aggregate supply is more, produces some of the goods will not be sold, so the producers will incur loss and they will cut down production. They'll remove the people from job, people will lose their job, income, employment, and output, everything will fall. This process will continue till it reaches to a point where planned saving is equals to planned investment. Thank you very much. Hope you understood the concept.